friends. Welcome to Story Behind Podcast. This is the show for people who love hearing a good story and who believe the world could use more positivity. We're the team behind GodUpdates and God2, and we hope these weekly short stories will brighten your day.
Community gathers to remember a 12-year-old girl who died in a scooter accident. Written by Julie Provost, read by Julie Provost. Ridley Strong. A community in Ridley Park, Pennsylvania came together to mourn a 12-year-old girl. Abigail Gillon was remembered as thousands packed Ridley Park Middle School to honor the sixth grader. She and her best friend Isabella Jones were riding an electric scooter when they hit a curb, fell, and then got hit by a car. Both girls were rushed to the hospital, where Abby passed away from her injuries. Bella is still in the hospital. It breaks our heart to think of these two friends out enjoying time together and how it all went so wrong, resulting in such tragedy. The two friends were always together. Joined at the hip, if you got one, you most likely got both, Kevin Pierce, the girls' swim coach, shared. He also talked about the void the swim team would now feel. Abby was known as a caring girl who loved cheerleading, swimming, and her friends and family. Whether she was cheering on her team or gliding through the water, she did it with all her heart. Abby's next-door neighbor, Brianna Newmiller, said, "She cared deeply for her family, friends, and classmates, and community. She was the kind of person who showed up for others, who made you feel seen, and who brought joy just by being herself." The 12-year-old was put on life support in the hospital and was able to donate some of her organs, saving another child's life. This morning, Abigail had her hero walk down the halls of DuPont Hospital. Through the gift of life, she was able to save another 12-year-old girl's life by donating her liver, pancreas, and both kidneys, Brianna told the crowd. The crowd released balloons in memory of Abigail, a special way to reach out to heaven and always remember the sweet girl who will always be missed. The entire Ridley Park community is in mourning after the tragic accident that took Abby's life and hoping and praying for Bella's recovery. People are donating, and businesses such as Dino's Style Pizza are raising money for the families. Ridley Strong. One of us hurts, we all hurt. Jen Bay Constitutes shares, whose granddaughter had been friends with the girls since preschool. While we may not be able to stop a tragedy, we can show the love of Christ to those who have been through one in our communities, just as the Ridley Park community has done. Rejoice with those who rejoice, mourn with those who mourn. Romans 12:15.
For some of us, personal finances aren't just personal. They include loved ones, neighbors, the communities we call home, and the causes we hold in our hearts. At Thrivent, planning your finances is bigger than just money. We help you put your plans into motion and faith into action so you can do more for the ones in your heart. Because sometimes all you need to make a difference is someone to help you make it happen. Thrivent, where money means more. Connect with us at Thrivent.com.
For more than 100 years, the Salvation Army has responded to natural disasters. But few have broken our hearts more than what occurred in Texas on the 4th of July. Like you, we grieve for those who lost their lives in those terrible floods and are praying for their loved ones and the survivors of this terrible tragedy. The Salvation Army has mobilized our disaster relief teams to provide hundreds of meals, food, water, and emergency relief supplies to support first responders and to help survivors begin the process of healing and recovery. You can help support Salvation Army disaster relief efforts with a donation at helpsalvationarmy.org or by calling 1-800-SAL-ARMY. That's 1-800-SAL-ARMY. Learn more about the Salvation Army's continued efforts at disaster.salvationarmyusa.org. Thank you for helping the Salvation Army bring hope to those in need.
New York soccer coach collapses on field. Parents jump in to save him. Written by Michaela Gordoni. Read by Julie Provost. When a youth team's soccer coach suddenly collapses, the community rallies around to help. At least that was the case for 45-year-old coach Andrew Philibert when he experienced a cardiac arrest at his team's match on June 4th. When he fell forward, face to the ground, it was just ordinary people who helped save his life. I went from standing up, coaching, and doing whatever to just my heart stopped, and I fell down, said Andrew, a New York native. Nothing felt weird, nothing felt strange the whole time, until it just kind of happened. Another coach, Paul Herman, saw him collapse and ran over in seconds. I see the other coach face down in the turf. Closer I got, I started running towards him because it really didn't look good at all, Paul said. The coach turned to the stands and asked if anyone knew CPR. A nurse and a retired state trooper were two of the three in the crowd who had training and sprang into action. The school secretary said she ran as fast as she could to get the school's automated external defibrillator, AED, and brought it to Andrew's helpers. They shocked him 3 times before he became conscious. Andrew was in an ambulance just 10 minutes after he fell. As soon as I heard the word heart, I knew we had to do something, the secretary said. Andrew stayed in the hospital for 6 days and had an internal defibrillator implanted. The cause of his cardiac arrest is unknown, but doctors told him he only had a 10% chance of surviving that kind of incident outside a hospital. If it was a trained group of professionals, it'd be a miracle. The fact that it was just people, without them, I wouldn't be here, Andrew said. A similar thing happened to NFL defense linebacker Damar Hamlin in 2023. Damar's heart rhythm became disrupted when he received blunt force to the chest, and he was resuscitated with AED. Andrew knew that many playing fields, like those at parks, don't have AEDs on hand. This event shows how important it is that AEDs are available anywhere physical activity takes place. If we wouldn't have been at a high school, I wouldn't have made it, Andrew said. It just all fell into place, said the retired state trooper Corey Harmon. And the fact that the fire departments were able to get there very quickly was another key player in keeping him alive. Since the event, Andrew has committed to knowing how to save someone else's life if that kind of situation happens again. He plans to have a bonding activity with his team as soon as possible so they can all learn CPR. Thank God those around Andrew were willing to help and understood the urgency. It truly took a community to save the coach's life.
Thank you so much for listening to Story Behind Podcast. We're really glad you joined us for this week's story. To see photos and videos that may have been referenced in this episode, check out the links in the show notes. And if you enjoyed what you heard today, subscribe to our podcast, and please tell a friend about us. We'd also love it if you'd rate us and leave us a review. It really does help more people find us. Story Behind is a Salem Web Network production.
Once in a generation, a podcast comes along with the power and eloquence to inspire us all.
This show will entertain you while you wait for that one. Join two best friends, author and former history teacher John Driver and comedian Johnny W. for hilarious and authentic conversations about life, history, culture, faith, and everything in between.
You can listen to Talk About That wherever you find your podcasts or at lifeaudio.com.